I can't believe that his old shit's so good.
Yeah, man. It's like
Uh-huh.
he was. I mean, okay, for the Weeknd's trilogy album, he made all of those when he was pretty independent. I don't think he was signed or anything.
Mm-mm.
So he had as much time as he wanted to like really perfect those songs.
Ugh.
And he still sings them in his concerts nowadays, and he like
Does
references them in current songs as well, which I think is really
yeah.
cool.
I catch them. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. Love it when artists do that.
Mm-hmm. It's really neat. Anyway, hello and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I'm
And the
Raven.
weekend.
Yes, and we open with The Weeknd.
I'm
Random The
Jess.
Weeknd talk.
Is it random? I'm pretty sure our fans know that we're fans.
Did you watch the halftime show?
I did not.
You
I
didn't.
did not.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Fake fan. Fake fan right here.
You caught me. I only listened to his music. In fact, I found so many music videos I didn't even know existed.
Oh yeah?
I had no idea.
Like what?
Like, for example, Wicked Games. I was blown away that there is a music video from like any of his original trilogy.
Yeah, when it became like the trilogy album and he
Then it
slapped
started
those
making them.
three together, then I think that's when he started coming out with music videos, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah.
I think The Weeknd is the one thing where I have that like hipster moment where I'm like I liked him before it was cool. Cuz I started listening to The Weeknd back in 2012.
Yo, so
Mhm.
many comments on these music videos are those gatekeepers, like real fans, blah blah blah. Like, bruh,
Okay,
cringe.
I think that's fucking stupid to say that they're the only ones who are real fans. Like,
Yeah, because they're like,
okay.
we were around when we listened to. It wasn't trilogy. Was it trilogy back then? 2012? I don't
Um,
know.
it was fuck.
Actually, was
Okay,
it? I think what did
let's see.
I think he said 2011 is when one of them came out.
Hang on.
Oh, I think they were releasing
Yeah,
it.
it became the trilogy album in 2012. So I
Okay.
started listening before the trilogy album happened. So I think it was like very shortly after Echoes of Silence came out.
Mm.
And I remember the first time I heard one of his songs on the radio, it was Wicked Games. And that was my favorite song off of the trilogy album. So I was like, bruh.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I remember listening to them that I recognized Wicked Games because you used to play it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of forced you all to listen to The Weeknd every time I drove you around in my car.
Yeah. You talked non-stop about the weekend for a very long time.
And you were all so sick of it before you even gave him a chance. And then you and Eric
Yeah.
both finally gave him a chance. And you're like, okay, this shit slaps.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the story.
Eric was before you. You started listening like when Starboy came out or something, right? Or Beauty Behind the Madness?
I don't recall.
I
I
think
think I was in Abbotsford when this happened, when I started like actually listening to him.
when did
Uh,
let me look up where and when.
I've been living in Langley for almost 4 years now. So whatever was 4 years ago.
Beauty Behind the Madness was 2015, so I think that's the one.
Okay, so it was definitely Beauty Behind the Madness that probably got me into the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started listening to the other albums. And Kislan is still my favorite. I like Kislan.
Yeah, and I think I've told you before that I don't remember where I heard this, and it might not be correct information, but I believe The Weeknd considers that album a complete failure.
Fuck that. It's great.
Yeah, it's very experimental, I would say, for sure.
I like how different it sounds. Alternative R&B is how I hear.
I did notice when I go the last couple times I've been to his concerts, he rarely sings songs from Kissland. I think only one time he sang a song from Kissland.
Boo. What
Yeah.
song was it? Was it Belong to the World?
It was Professional, oddly enough.
Ooh, I like Professional.
Yeah. And it wasn't like he didn't sing the full song. He just kind of adapted it into another one of his songs. He kind of plays around with his songs in his concerts that way. He'll like kind of slap them together and mix them up and that sort of thing.
Fuck yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. And he also did a cover of Beyonce's Crazy in Love.
Whoop, I'm looking that up right now.
Which he sang at one of his concerts, and I was like blown away because I love his cover of that song. It's so sexy.
Ooh. That's Drunk in Love. I think that's what you meant. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Oh yeah, sorry, Drunk in Love, not Crazy in Love. I love how he uses samples in his music.
Huh?
I like how he uses samples in his music.
Eh?
Do you know what a sample is? Do you know what a sample is?
Samples from other songs?
Yeah. He uses them all the time.
Well, I've been oblivious as fuck. Give me a song.
Okay, well, in Professional,
Okay.
he uses a sample of Professional Loving by Emeka, I think. Let me pull it up. Professional Loving.
Amico.
I'm gonna play a really
Oh my
short
god!
clip.
Yep, I got it. I played like the first second. I'm like, okay. I had no idea.
Yeah. So he does that a lot. Wanderlust from Kissland also has Precious Little Diamond by Fox the Fox.
Precious Little Diamond. Fox the Fox, huh?
Fox the Fox.
The beat sounds similar. The poop, pew,
Yeah.
pew. Yeah, that is definitely the same tune.
And then I think also this is like the song that goes, Precious Little Diamond.
Say what?
It actually sings that part. Precious
clipped
Little
out.
Diamond.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Precious Little Diamond. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that. 116.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds very similar.
Well, it should, because he sampled it.
I really like Wanderlust too.
Yeah, that was the one that was playing on the radio all the time when Kissland came out.
Yeah, it's pretty upbeat.
It was the most marketable one, I would say.
Yeah. The rest is like so like alternative that you're like kind of like
It takes a while
where
to
does
like
this fit?
yeah, exactly. It's hard to know where it fits, and it takes a while to kind of get used to the sound of it.
I love that shit. I love how different it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I think I really liked After Hours, the album, just because it didn't sound as poppy as Beauty Madness. I'm really good at remembering his album names.
Beauty Behind the Madness.
Starboy.
Starboy, yeah.
But there's nothing wrong. Those albums are awesome.
I mean, it's how
But
I don't know if he's like getting advice from people or if he just really knows how to play the market. But he did like his own thing for a while, and he got like kind of a cult following. But obviously it's like for someone who wants to be big and yeah, be on like
go down in time.
Exactly. It's not really gonna work just to have a cult following.
Yeah.
So he kind of had to like quote unquote sell out a little bit. So he adapted his style to, you know, like be a lot more
Mainstream.
how do you say it? Yeah, I guess mainstream and like easier to swallow. And a huge thing that really helped boost him was he did a collab with Ariana Grande.
Ooh. What song did he collab with her with?
Love Me Harder. And then he also did, after that, I believe he did the soundtrack for 50 Shades of Grey.
2014.
And those were the things that like really made him blow up.
The 50 Shades song came out in The Beauty Behind the Madness. When did that album come out? 2015. Damn, son.
Earned It came out as a single before the 50 Shades movie even came out.
Oh.
And that came out in 2015, so...
Oh.
He probably dropped the single, I would say, in late 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, it was part of the soundtrack for the movie, and those were the things that really made him blow up, and people started paying attention to him, and that's when he's like, okay, I need to ride this wave, because people are looking at me now. So he dropped an album that was a lot more mainstream.
And it was really good.
And, yeah,
so.
People liked it.
Yeah, it's a good album. Can't deny that.
And then he continued to ride that wave with Starboy, I would say. I mean, I'm just like, just remember, I'm talking out of my ass, okay? So everything I say could be contested.
It's what we interpret.
It's how I interpret what I'm seeing without doing a lot of research, but while being a avid The Weeknd fan since 2012. So then Starboy came out and he was still riding that wave because he's like still playing it safe. And then with After Hours, I feel like he felt like he could kind of get in touch kind of with his old stuff again.
Yes. Yes, please.
So it started getting a little bit more experimental again, but kept, you know, the vibes that he had developed over the past years so that he wouldn't completely turn off his newer fans, I would say.
Yeah, like, I think his newer album can be described as synthwave, which can be pretty popular. Like, it's still a popular genre.
Very 80s inspired.
But hell yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty dope. Anyway, we've definitely talked about The Weeknd before and kind of like the vibes of his different albums. So maybe we should stop before we start repeating ourselves.
We're just a couple of obsessed fans.
Yeah. So what's new? What'd you do for Valentine's Day?
What?
What did you do for Valentine's?
I just got gifts and I gave gifts. I don't think we didn't really do anything, really.
Okay.
I think we were supposed to order out, but we didn't because of the snow.
Oh.
I didn't feel good about ordering skip in the middle of like lots of snow. So I got Johnny a sweatshirt for my job and some underwears.
Underwears? Nice.
Some underwear. Just a whole bunch of underwears.
Nice.
And Johnny got me a One Punch Man season 1 and 2 DVD.
Nice.
I was so happy.
That's a good gift.
Because I was just so sad that Netflix took off the English dubbed version, which I find so much funnier than the Japanese version. Like, it's insanely funny English dub. So I was like, been so upset for so long because Netflix took it off a while ago, and I was like, fuck that. So he got me the DVDs, and I'm so happy. So funny.
Nice.
Season 2, which is even more awesome. But I gotta watch that too.
I don't know if I've seen season 2 yet. I'm gonna have to borrow those from you.
Not on Netflix.
Okay. I might steal your DVD at some point.
Yeah, it's gonna finish season 2. Johnny got kind of sick of it, so we're like in the high twos.
I see.
Because I just pounded through them all weekend. I had a pretty long weekend. My job is kind of slow right now, so they kind of encouraged us to take days off.
Oh.
So I took Tuesday off, so I had an extra long weekend.
Nice.
4 days off.
Nice.
Nice. Paid. It was paid. So
paid?
Nice.
What the hell?
Yeah. Well, initially I was like, I didn't want to take any days off because I have 2 weeks only a year. But when I looked, I had an extra 4 days, so I took those 4 days off.
Oh. Nice.
4 days paid. Yeah, how much I get paid.
Nice.
Yeah, so I had a nice long weekend full of migraines, unfortunately.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so I didn't really do much.
I see.
Hmm.
Yeah, it started snowing on my fucking birthday. And I hate snow, so...
Your birthday was on Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, it was!
Oh, you didn't wish me happy birthday.
I didn't?
No.
I came to you a couple of days before with a gift.
That's why I forgave you.
I can't believe I forgot. It's so bad with birthdays. So bad. It's not on Facebook. I'm not gonna remember it, bro.
It was on Facebook.
No, I sent you one with Bonnie. A picture of Bonnie on Snapchat that said happy birthday. Did I not? And you were like, thanks, Bonnie.
Oh, maybe you did. Okay, who has the bad memory now, Raven?
Bonnie. Bonnie can wish the birthdays. She's cute.
So yeah, it started snowing on my birthday, and I was very bummed. But Jake had a really cute idea. We pulled the mattress out of the bedroom and into the living room, and we just kind of had like a movie day.
Oh, a movie day.
Yeah, he got me a Switch for my birthday.
Oh.
Which is
And
insane.
did he get you Breath of the Wild too?
Uh-huh.
But he played it all week.
I've been sending Snapchats to Jess and Eric of Jake playing Breath of the Wild. But yeah, I've been talking about wanting a Switch like ever since before we like met up.
Oh.
So yeah, he got me a Switch and he got me Breath of the Wild, and we've been like playing it together. I've been playing more than him. I take snaps every time he plays, so it looks like he's playing all the time. Yeah.
He's having fun.
Yeah, he's really enjoying it. It's cute.
Good. Is that what you did all Valentine's Day too?
Yeah, pretty much. And then he got me the Dark Phoenix movie because I hadn't seen it, and we had like recently binge watched all the X-Men movies.
Oh.
So he got me that, and he got me a huge bag of the double cream Earl Grey tea.
Hell yeah.
That I had just run out of, so it was perfect timing on that.
David's tea?
No, it's the one from New West. It's like the wall of tea or whatever it is.
Okay.
And he got me one more thing. What was it? Shit. My shitty memory. Fuck. Come on. Oh, chocolate. He got me turtles.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I gave him a scrapbook of like...
He scraps?
No. I made it.
Okay.
But it was like memories of us, like corny, cheesy stuff, but I made him tear up, so I was proud.
How long have you been dating?
Not even long.
Okay.
It's been almost 6 months now.
Oh, and you have so many memories that he teared up.
I think he was just moved by the gesture because I hadn't had a chance to put a lot in it yet because I was like printing out pictures on my printer, but then it ran out of ink and I wasn't able to get more in time to print out pictures. Yeah. So I've been waiting to get ink, so I wasn't able to put barely anything in the scrapbook, but I think he was just moved.
You like the gesture,
yeah. And I'll keep working on it. We weren't really able to go out or like do anything because it was really snowy and COVID and blah 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 blah. But yeah, it was nice. It was chill.
Bro, I'm glad I live next to a park because I was able to go out.
We have a few parks around our area too, and we did go out for a walk one of the days, but I don't remember which day. And we actually I forgot. On my birthday when it snowed, we went out to like shovel the driveway and the sidewalk together and then just like had a random snowball fight in the front yard. And I like haven't had a snowball fight since elementary school. So like
You like that shit?
like 2
Johnny,
minutes in, we were like panting and dying.
Johnny always wants to have a snowball fight when it snows. I'm like, no, leave me alone. I don't want snow down my shirt.
We have a really big tree in our front yard, so we were just kind of like running around it and like missing each other. My aim's terrible and his is better. But yeah.
Athlete, not an athlete.
I'm not good at math either. I guess we can get into it now. We've been talking
Finally,
about nothing for long enough.
Straight up. Hopefully you guys are still around.
Just talking out of our asses for fucking half an hour. Fuck.
We just forgot that we're recording. Just talking to each other like we usually do.
We'll see how much I can edit that down.
My tea is the same turmeric stuff that I love.
Excuse me. Will you let me ask?
Oh.
What are we drinking today, Jess?
I'm drinking my same turmeric stuff that I love. Some turmeric tea, and it's good in my tummy. My tummy is happy. What tea are you drinking?
Nice. I'm drinking an Irish breakfast tea.
You're not worried about the caffeine?
Well, I'm not working, so I don't have to get up early tomorrow. I can just stay up late and sleep in.
Fuck getting up. It actually feels good getting up early.
I still get up like between 8 and 9, so
I mean,
I don't like sleep in really late.
I mean early.
Like early.
I always get up between 8 and 9 on my weekends, but early, like getting up at 6.
Yeah, I'm over that. I'm over that life. I was constantly getting up between like 4 and 5 when I was working at my previous job.
Yeah.
And I was very much over it by the time I left. I will talk about that in a second because I have an update on that. But let me explain my Irish breakfast first.
Go on.
I picked up this Irish breakfast because I was like, Irish breakfast? I've never heard of that. I've heard of English breakfast, but what the hell is Irish breakfast? So I tried it a few days ago, and it just, to me, tasted like
English breakfast?
a regular black tea, which is delicious. I love it, but I was like, wait, then what the fuck's the difference? Why is it an Irish breakfast? So today, when I made my tea, I pulled out some English breakfast, I pulled out the Irish breakfast, and I compared the ingredients. In an English breakfast, the ingredients say, a mix of black teas. And I was like, okay. All right, that's informative. And then I checked the Irish breakfast, and it just says 100% black tea. So...
Black tea and black tea. Thanks.
I guess an Irish breakfast is one type of black tea, and then maybe an English breakfast is a mix of black teas. That's my best interpretation of what the fuck that means, but I'm still very confused.
I was under the interpretation that black tea is the same leaf that's just been oxidized. It's basically green tea that's been oxidized. That's why it's black.
Yeah, so maybe there's different ways to, like, oxidize it or whatever, which is what makes different types of black tea, or, like, different levels of oxidation or something like that.
Is there nothing else in it? Because I know, like chai, for example, has, like, cinnamon and other spices in it.
It says 100% pure black tea.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be awake till, like, 2 a.m.
Serious?
No. I sleep so easily ever since I started working at my previous job.
You started working at your previous job?
Ever since I started working at my previous job, which I no longer work at, I sleep very easily.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And it continues to this day.
Very nice.
Yes. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to talk about that job. Well, I wasn't specifically going to talk about that job, but I've started job hunting again because I'm running out of money, so... Yeah. So, I've applied to a couple places. We'll see what comes of it.
Cool.
It'd be nice to have an income again.
It would be.
Anyway, let's fucking talk about Storm of Swords. Holy shit.
Oh my. Oh my.
Alright.
Catelyn.
Catelyn. Alright, that's me. I get to talk this time.
Woohoo.
Alright, where did we leave off Catelyn?
Catelyn? What the fuck? She was probably setting Jamie loose.
Yes, because we know Jamie's been set loose by Catelyn.
Yes, that's probably what she did.
Alright, so chapter 2 is Catelyn. Let's fucking go!
I
Get fucking excited!
Woohoo, Catelyn! A new character.
Okay. Cat has become a traitor.
Yo.
Sir Desmond, Castellan of Riverrun, and Eutheritus Wayne, her father's steward, are the ones dealing with her. Cat seems ashamed for disgracing her family, but at the same time she's not apologetic. Sir Desmond tries to make excuses for her, saying she was driven mad by the deaths of her sons, but Cat stops this. She's like, I knew exactly what I was doing. And you need to punish my ass. Otherwise, men will believe he conspired with her. So they suggest confining her to her chambers to await Edmure's return, but she requests being confined to her father's chambers so she can be with him in his final days, which they allow. They say she can go to the Sept whenever she wants, but otherwise is to remain in Lord Hoster's chambers. That doesn't seem so bad.
No.
Sir Desmond leaves, but Uther lingers to tell Cat they've sent Sir Robin Ryger after Jaime Lannister to either bring him back or bring back his head. Cat didn't expect anything different, but she says a quick prayer in her head to the warrior to give Brienne strength. Yeah. Her things are moved into her father's bedchambers, and when she enters, he's asleep facing the balcony that overlooks the rivers. Catelyn goes out and looks down towards the Red Fork. If a striped sail comes from the east, it will be Sir Robin returning, but for now there's nothing. Cat wonders what her father would think of her crime. There's a smell of death in the room that makes her think of Bran and Rickon. And Theon.
Theon.
I think she just wants Theon dead.
Yeah.
Lord Hoster suddenly wakes and whispers, Tansy. He says, forgive me, and the blood. Cat is very confused and wonders if there was another woman in his life, perhaps after her mother died. Ooh, who the fuck is Tansy? And that's exactly what Cat says to her father. Who the fuck was Tansy? He says, dead. And you'll have others, sweet babes and trueborn. Cat doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Cat doesn't know who he thinks he's talking to. Lord Hoster is in pain, so Maester Vyman comes in and gives him milk of the poppy, and he falls back asleep again. Cat mentions Tansy to the Maester, but he doesn't know anyone by that name. He says he could ask around for her, though. He says the small folk often name their daughters after flowers and herbs.
Okay.
The Maester leaves, and Cat spends the rest of her day watching the river, hoping she doesn't see the striped sail. But she sees nothing well into the night, and her hopes are still alive. She spots a raven fly to the rookery at one point and dreads the message it carries. Maester Vyman returns at evenfall with food and tells Cat that Uther is certain no woman by the name of Tansy had ever been at Riverrun during his service. Cat asks about the raven and whether Jaime had been taken again. The Maester tells her there has been no word of the Kingslayer, but he isn't supposed to speak about it with her. She persuades him to tell her anyway, and it's news that Robb has been wounded in battle. Oh my god. But the Maester says there's no cause for concern. Still, Cat wants more details, but the Maester hurriedly exits the room and she's left alone with her father, who moans more about Tansy and apologizing and the blood. Do you know what this Tansy thing is?
I sure as fuck don't.
Any theories?
I have no idea. Maybe it was some no-born girl that he had relations with. I have no idea.
That's what it seems the most like, but I feel like that's too easy of an answer. Like, it's definitely
Right?
it's definitely something that we would not guess, I think.
Maybe it's incredibly complex.
Probably this is Game of Thrones. The next morning, Kat wonders if her father ever had a bastard child on this woman, Tansy. Why else would he say she would have sweet babes and trueborn? She can't believe it. She'd believe it of Edmure, but not her father. Or maybe Tansy was a pet name for Lysa. Her sister did have 5 miscarriages, but never one at River Run, where Lord Hoster would have been there to comfort her. Unless she was with child that first time. Duh? What first time? Kat and Lysa had been married on the same day and left with their father when their new husbands went to join Robert's rebellion. When their moon blood didn't come at the accustomed time, Lysa was thrilled, certain they were both carrying sons. Moon blood.
Moon blood. I should start calling my period that.
I've got my moon blood.
My
Babe,
moon blood.
babe, get me some chocolate. I've got my moon blood. But Lysa's blood had come not long after, and all the joy had gone out of her. Perhaps Lysa was with child that time. Kat remembered the first time she gave Lysa Rob to hold. She had burst into tears, handed him back, and fled. If she had... Right?
Awkward.
If she had lost a child before, that could explain her father's words. It could also explain why Lysa's marriage to John Arryn was arranged. He had no heirs and needed a young wife, one who was known to be fertile. Wait, who was Lysa's first husband?
I have no idea. She had a what?
Yeah, she had a husband before John Arryn.
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
One sec.
Are you looking it up? Wait, that might be a spoiler. Maybe we're not supposed to know.
How are we not supposed to know if they're hinting at it? Oh.
Is it a spoiler? Why did you just audibly gasp?
I don't know if it's the first husband.
What?
What? House Tully. It looks like it was Aaron was her first. What's his face? John Arryn was the first hus.
What?
I just gasped because it described her. It said her husband was, but I'm like, that happens later, right?
Wait,
Like, there's no
oh.
way.
Spoilers!
And then third.
uh,
Ew. What?
From what I've read in this chapter, it seemed to me that John Arryn was a second husband.
Uh-huh.
Because, well, okay, let me continue this and then let me just read this next point. Kat tells her father she knows what he did. Lysa was the price John Arryn had to pay for the swords and spears of House Tully. So, John Arryn wanted to join houses with the Tullys, or he wanted their defenses, I guess. And so, I guess they were like, alright, well, you have to marry Lysa then, because, I mean, no one else is going to take her if she's quote-unquote soiled from her first husband.
Okay, so I read. I did some reading right now.
Okay.
She wasn't married. She had sex with, and she thought she was carrying his son.
Oh.
Yeah, and she had confessed to her father that they had done it, and she thought she was carrying it. But when she wasn't, then he gave her to John.
Oh, okay, so she wasn't
She
married,
yeah.
but she
They
slept
weren't
with...
married. Uh-huh.
Okay. So I don't think we're supposed to know that.
No, so we know it's like hints that there was some before John Arryn, apparently.
Okay, but she wasn't married to him. Got
No.
it. Okay, so I will bleep out the parts where we say his name.
Yeah.
Okay. The next day, Kat writes a letter to Lysa. She tells her of Bran and Rickon, but mostly
You good?
She tells her of Bran and Rickon, but mostly writes of their father, how he knows he wronged her and that his time grows short. She requests Lysa make the trip to come see him before he dies, or at least write to him, but she thinks the letter may be too little too late. Later that day, she hears a trumpet's blare and rushes out onto the balcony. But there's nothing to see on the river. She can hear the sounds of horses and armor, though, so she goes up to the roof and sees men before the portcullis, carrying the river-run banners. So it's Edmure returning.
Okay.
Sometime later, he comes to see her in Lord Hoster's chambers. He looks like shit for someone who won the battle. He tells her he threw back Lord Tywin, Gregor Clegane, Adam Marbrand, and he tells her Stannis lost the battle at King's Landing. But Cat doesn't seem too bothered. She still remembers seeing Phantom Stannis murder Renly. She says Stannis wasn't a friend, but Edmure says Highgarden has declared for Joffrey, as well as Dorne and the rest of the South, and he says she had no right to loose the Kingslayer. Edmure
She had no right to loose?
Loose the Kingslayer.
Okay.
Not lose, loose.
Yeah,
like set him loose.
Are you saying lose wrong?
Yeah, I wrote it like that, and Word was not happy with the way that was written either. It is grammatically correct, but it's just like odd phrasing, I guess. But it's I wrote it that way because that's how George R.R. Martin wrote it.
Sure.
Edmure says Jaime was Robb's, the king's captive, and Edmure was charged with keeping him safe. Cat said Brienne will keep him safe, and Edmure is like, that woman? Okay, dude, she'd kick your scrawny ass.
Mm-hmm.
Cat says Brienne will deliver Jaime to King's Landing and bring Arya and Sansa back. Edmure says Cersei will never give them up, but Cat says Tyrion will make sure it happens. He swore it in open court.
I trust Tyrion.
And Jaime swore as well. Edmure says Jaime's word is worthless, and Tyrion took an axe to the head in battle. He's likely dead already, which is a crushing blow to Cat's hopes. She was counting on him. Edmure then tells her he sent ravens to Lord Bolton and Harrenhal to stop and recapture Jaime Lannister when they pass by. But he left out Cat's part, saying Jaime escaped. Cat is horrified. She said if this was an escape and not an exchange of hostages, why would the Lannisters give her daughters to Brienne?
Got him.
Edmure says it won't come to that. They'll have Jaime back. He's made certain of it. Cat says the only thing he's made certain of is that she'll never see her daughters again. Yeesh.
Dumb.
Edmure's... I don't like him.
He's a dumb fuck. You can tell that from the show.
Yeah, he's like... I feel like he has a good heart and he, like, has good intentions, but he's just an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
he is not cut out for this job.
No.
Ugh.
Too cocky.
Yeah.
Even, like, Rob outsmarts him. And it's, like, a huge age gap there.
Yeah. But also Rob had, like, his father's influence.
But Holster Tully apparently was smart as fuck.
Yeah, but we don't know how good of a father he was.
Catelyn claims he was good. But who knows?
Maybe he liked his girls better than his boys.
Possibly.
It's possible.
Catelyn was the favorite child. She's the golden child. Catelyn.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Did you finish Catelyn already?
Yeah, that's
Is that
Catelyn.
it?
That's it.
Fuck, son. So what happened? Who knows? There's a lot of crap.
So...
Was this chapter necessary? I don't know. Whoa, is this you writing? No, it's me. Holy shit.
The fuck? It's basically, we learn about this mysterious Tansy person. We learn that Lysa had a sexual affair before her first marriage. And we learn that Edmure has said that Jaime escaped, not that he is being traded. So that's what we know now. All right. Chapter 3.
All right. I'm Arya. Me.
Fucker.
It's been a while.
It's been never. You've never had Arya. I've always had Arya.
Oh, okay, that's why she seems so boring to me.
I miss her.
I'm like, who's this bitch? Okay.
Oh.
I'll try to do her justice. Okay, so Arya and friends escape Harrenhal on horseback, and they ride throughout the night with Arya leading. And she keeps them off the roads. And in case you didn't know, and friends is Gendry and Hot Pie. They run into a few obstacles, like wolves, a burnt village with a dozen dead men hanging from a row of apple trees.
Nice.
Which,
That's fun.
Kind of makes Hot Pie shit himself, but he's a pussy.
Yeah, he only kind of shits himself.
Kind.
Kind of shits himself.
At dawn, they have a quick breakfast, and Gendry grills her on the plan because he needs freaking deets. So Arya says that they're heading north to River Run, and she shows him a map. Hot Pie is shook that she can read. He's like, the fuck?
He doesn't know that
symbols?
she's highborn yet, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
To him, she is Ari, I guess.
Right.
Or Weasel.
Both, I guess.
And he is uncertain about her confidence that it's a safe place to go. So he doesn't trust her to run, which is understandable.
Right.
They quicken their pace. Sometimes she sends Gendry and Hot Pie on, while she doubles back to confuse anyone who's following.
Smart girl.
God damn, how old is she? 9? I don't know.
I think she's got to be like 11 at this point or something. 10 or 11.
Maybe. I don't recall. I think, isn't Sansa like 12 or 13? If she's 13, then maybe Arya is 11. Who knows?
Somewhere around there.
Okay. By midday, Hot Pie starts complaining about how sore and tired he is.
Fucking
Arya...
hell.
Oh, he's never been on a horse, I guess. Arya and Gendry start joking about who will find him first if he falls, the wolves or the mummers, which shuts him up.
Ooh.
Arya notices that Gendry is also having a hard time, and remembers that they are city boys with little to no experience with horses, which I bet sucks to sit on a horse for so long.
Ugh, yeah.
Especially if you have external genitals, like boys do.
Well, I don't know if that would make a difference.
No?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a cock and balls, but...
Sitting on your balls sucks.
I don't think you're actually sitting on your balls when you're sitting on a horse.
Maybe if you pull it up front.
Well, yeah. I think they would rest.
Your legs are spread, and it's like kind of like iffy to me.
Jack! He's ridden a horse. I could ask him. Yeah, I could ask him where his cock and balls at. Jack.
Aw, poor boy has to get up.
I'll message him.
Text him. What is it? Matthew, Chucky, what's up?
I'll send him a message.
Do that to Jake. Check your messages.
Where did your cock and balls sit when you rode a horse? Smiley face.
Was it comfortable, or did you want to die?
I mean, dudes ride motorcycles, they ride bicycles. Like, it's not like they're always sitting on their balls.
But
they
I feel
just
like
adjust.
your legs are more spread on a horse than on a bike.
I suppose. We'll see what he says.
Like, one wrong, like, twitch and suddenly you slammed down your balls. The horse. Like...
He said, laugh my ass off. What?
Ask him how comfortable it is for men to ride horses.
We require this vital information for the podcast.
Is it comfortable for men to ride horses?
Jess thinks it is more difficult for people with
external genitalia?
External genitalia to ride horses.
For long periods of time.
For long periods of time. He's typing. Ooh, what will the answer be? Can you come? Wait, into the podcast room. Oh, shit. He said he was bouncing up and down. Instead of chilling out in front, they would sometimes kind of slip under and get sat on. So I suppose you're right. Okay, so I imagine that if the horse is just walking, you're probably okay, but if it's doing
Yeah.
anything more than that, if it's like trotting, galloping, cantering, whatever, then okay.
Yeah, be
Yes.
careful.
I will concede.
Wait,
Please
where am
continue.
I? So she briefly thinks about how she would be faster without them, but she considers them her pack and will not abandon them. Fucking adorable. By late afternoon, they reach a river and Hot Pie starts whooping because he thinks it's a trident. But Arya is like, no, it's
Lol.
way too small. Like, they can see the other side easily. That's not a trident.
It's like the width of a piece of spaghetti, and he's like, it's the trident.
They pull out the map and they start speculating where they are, and Arya decides they must cross the river. They make it across, and then they cross another river because there's a whole bunch of these little rivers. So they cross a whole bunch of them, and then dusk hits. They stop for dinner, and Hot Pie begs for a fire, or at least to sleep, but Arya refuses. They must go on. Doesn't trust the mummers. As they keep riding, exhaustion hits Arya, and she starts nodding off, and she eventually passes out and is woken up by Gendry, who insists that they need sleep and volunteers the first watch. She falls asleep and she dreams that she's hunting the mummers. She's a huge and powerful wolf, and her great pack surrounds and slaughters them.
Oh, shit.
In this dream, and that's how the chapter ends.
Okay.
Like,
so 2 things.
Thanks. Thanks.
1, Gendry reminds Arya of Jon, which I think is really cute.
Oh, I think I remember reading that, and I was gonna put that, but I forgot about it.
Super adorbs. 2, did Arya just warg into Nymeria's eyes?
Right? Is Arya a warg? Are all the Stark children wargs?
Are they all like part warg, or is Bran like doing this to all of them?
How the hell would Bran make his siblings wargs?
Because if he like reaches out in his mind to them, could he like get them to connect with their wolf? Like, I don't know. I'm just speculating.
I think it's a possibility that all the Stark children are partial warg,
Right.
but Bran is like a whole other level special.
Right. Huh. Like, I didn't know. I don't know if there are like different levels of warginess.
I didn't realize that until possibly the Jon chapter where
Yes.
it's mentioned, but no spoilers.
No spoilers, so you'll have to come back for the next episode if you want to hear what we learn about wargs in that one. All right, we're gonna have to end this episode here. Did you want to say any last things about those chapters?
They're both pretty brief.
Yeah, we're still kind of in that
Introduction.
stage. Yeah,
We're slowly getting into what the characters are up to.
we're just like catching up with everyone right now.
I feel like the first chapter, Jamie was like super intense, and then like
that was intense.
the other one.
But I feel like that's done strategically. The first Jamie chapter is the most intense to kind of suck you into the story. And then he'll like give you a couple like less intense ones, and then he'll give you another intense one so that you stay hooked. And then maybe another less intense one, and then another really intense one, and it's just kind of like
also a pretty good introduction to Jamie because it's the first time you get a read from him.
Right.
And I loved it because he's so different from what you think of him.
Yeah, being in his mind is awesome.
Jerk. Like, he is an egotistical jerk, but he's so much smarter than that.
He's like, I don't know why we're talking about this in this episode. Like, we didn't just read the Jamie chapter, but I think we've had some time to like sit on it a little bit and think about it since talking about it last week.
And we're comparing Catelyn and Arya's chapters.
I would say that Jamie, what surprised me the most about him is that he's a lot less sure of himself than I thought he would be.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just like questioning why he's doing things, and he's like making these choices without knowing why he's doing them. For example, helping Brienne out of the water. I would think that Jamie would be a lot more sure of his intentions and what he wants.
True.
So that's what was most interesting to me about the Jaime chapter.
A little bit of spice to Jaime.
Mm-hmm. The most interesting thing to me from the Catelyn chapter is definitely Lysa's mysterious past and who the fuck is this Tansy person. I do want to know whether Lysa is going to reply to Catelyn's letter. Whether she'll show up, maybe. Who knows?
But yeah, there's definitely more to Lysa's past, especially with the whole confusion of a first or second husband.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yep.
If you watch the show, you might know.
Or if you have a brain at all, you might figure it out.
Put two and two together.
And then Arya, hers, I feel like I had a lot less to write about in her chapter.
It was very brief. Well, there's a lot describing like how the woods look like that they're traveling through, but it was basically like what they did was pretty brief.
They didn't do a whole lot. They just kind of like argued about where they are on the map, and then we're discussing how best to get to River Run.
Yeah, not much happened. They're just trying to get to River Run.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess that kind of chapter is necessary just so we know like where they're at.
Yeah, like making sure that she actually escaped. So
yeah,
all we knew is like they got out and that's it.
Yeah, so we don't know if they actually like got out of Harrenhal territory type of thing.
Were they caught within 24 hours?
Right. That's probably the main thing. Good observation.
We're gonna have Tyrion next.
Ooh.
Tyrion,
Sansa, and Jon.
Tyrion. Well, it depends on how many.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna talk for another 45 minutes before we get
to rail. maybe on Friday we'll like finally kick our asses. We're like, let's get to these fucking chapters.
Okay, so we're gonna end it there. Thank you so much for listening. If you want more of the podcast, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at TIGBAB Podcast, or you can follow us separately. My handle is Crimby, Jess's is just.egan24. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search TIGBAB Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and we should show up there. Also, please subscribe to our good friend Bahrami on YouTube. He's the one who made our jingle, which you heard at the start of this episode, and he's a really cool guy and makes dope stuff, so check him out. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/teaisgoodbooksarebetter. We have a few different tea-themed tiers with fun rewards, such as behind-the-scenes content, outtakes, and mini-episodes in which we force our brother to watch Game of Thrones, which he hates. So you will be getting something in return for your contribution, and you'd also be helping us improve the podcast with better equipment. But we also just appreciate you listening. And please don't forget to share the podcast with your family and your friends. It is the best way for us to grow. I forgot to do that last time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I had to like figure out how to get the end plug in there. I frustrate myself when I start editing.
Oh.
I'm like, what the fuck was this? How am I supposed to edit around that? You couldn't just repeat that? Thank you so much for joining us for Storm of Swords. And come back next time for more. We say that every fucking time. I'm bored of myself. Alright, bye. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.